साहेब बाबा साहेब एक साहेब बाबा साहेब.
Buddhism and globalization in aspects of interdependence and self-sufficiency, which will follow this title. So let's start with the definition of globalization. When we talk about globalization, we know that the issue of globalization is an important topic affecting all our life. It is a topic taken up by a variety of disciplines, from political science and international relationships to economics and sociology. David Hale and Anthony McGrew have briefly defined globalization as the widening, deepening, and speeding up of the worldwide interconnectedness in all aspects of contemporary social life. The mainstream approach is generally rooted in the assumption that globalization brings jobs, technology, income, and wealth to societies. In order to make this strategy of globalization successful, all the societies must be willing to do many activities. As a result, globalized production led to a social and ecological crisis, such as poverty and powerlessness of the majority of people, destruction of community, depletion of natural resources, and even unendurable pollution. Now, the world is interconnected. It means that whatever principles, policies, and actions that are promoted in the world have their resulting effects, which are very much related to the original teaching of the Buddha, Paticcasamuppada. It is the interdependence of causation which could be applied to the globalization. It refers to the 12-link chain of causation which describes how sentient being is trapped in the process of rebirth. Meanwhile, the removal of various causes in the series is the way to end the rebirth and attain enlightenment. Buddhism promotes the principle of interdependence, which is a fundamental truth of life. Interdependence could be applied to all kinds of work because it is the nature of all beings to depend on others. But among those relationships, it should start with the right view. Right view supports wisdom. Wisdom, in the sense, is the understanding of things that they are, as explained in the teaching of the Four Noble Truths. It should be a generous and compassionate relationships in this globalization. Our obsession with economic growth seems natural to us because we have forgotten the hierarchy of needs that we often take for granted. We are presuming that the way to become happy is to start on the increasing of consumption. However, the importance of self-sufficiency or self-limitation which requires some degree of non-attachment, is an essential human attribute to remain happy according to Buddhism. This is expressed better in a Tibetan Buddhist analogy. It said, "The world is full of thorns and sharp stones. What should we do about this? One solution is to pave over the entire earth. But the simple alternative is to wear shoes." Do you think so? So without the wisdom of self-limitation, we will not be satisfied even we have used up all the earth's resources. The other solution is for our minds to learn how to wear shoes, so that our collective ends become an expression of renewable means that the biosphere provides. The scope, the framework of globalization in this presentation is the aspects of seed preservation by using His Majesty King Bhumibol's philosophy of sufficiency economy as a model. He explained that sufficiency economy is a physiology that is a psychology that straight the middle path as the overriding principle for appropriate conduct and way of life by the populace at all levels. Sufficiency means moderation and due consideration in all modes of conduct, together with the need for sufficient protection from internal and external shocks. No matter how you are, public officials, academics, businessmen, or farmers will adhere first and foremost to the principle of this very important keyword, honesty and integrity. In addition, a balanced approach combining patience, perseverance, diligence, wisdom, and prudence is indispensable to cope appropriately with critical challenges arising from extensive and rapid socio-economic, environmental, and cultural changes occurring as a result of globalization. His Majesty further explained that sufficiency means to lead a reasonably comfortable life without excess or indulgence in luxury, but enough. The word to have enough is sufficient. Sufficiency is moderation without being extreme or insatiable in one's desire. His Majesty King Bhumibol have been organized worldwide, as are seen from the numerous awards. One of these from United Nations. This is part of the speech of Secretary General Kofi Annan. So I can conclude that this speech very much reflected the paradigm of thought of His Majesty King Bhumibol. Next slide, I will move on to the implying ideas from His Majesty King Bhumibol's philosophy of sufficiency economy. Because time is limited, so I will pass on. As you know that for thousands of years, people have been preserving seeds for consumption. Farmers also store seeds to ensure that they have seeds to plant a new crop the following years, and they also ensure the survival of healthy plant strains. But what happens when F1 hybrid is replaced OPCs or a native seed? Farmers becoming reliant on commercial seed companies in order to maintain their strong harvest. So I propose to use OPCs and do a seed bank. So let me briefly explain you what is OPC. They are seeds and plants that are true to their parent plant year after year. Of using OPCs are that you can save the seeds year after year without having to buy new seeds every season. And the benefits of using a seed bank, because at present the climate change is increasingly, many crops are in danger of going extinct, and this will undoubtedly cause a global food crisis. So the worldwide population explosion has also led to the increase of consumption. So the food is not enough. So seed banking and conservation is a technique that you can avert such unforeseen emergencies. So I will come to the conclusion. The truth in this university, in this universe, is under the concept of cause and effect as the teaching of the Buddha. If the human being could control their minds to respect others as the same as they did to themselves, to live independence peacefully, to be self-sufficiency in the way of Buddhist living, to stand on their own feet, that you are making the right course, and definitely you would get the good result to live in this world safely and happily. Like the concept of Tibetan analogy I mentioned earlier, that a simpler alternative solution to live happily in this world is to wear shoes instead of paving the entire earth. So let's start changing from inside with the right view, the right paradigm of thought to live happily, no matter how the globalization will be. May the Buddha bless all of you. Thank you very much.
एक साहेब